rates by that much, certainly. Thank you very much. And did you guys see this? Warren Buffett jumping into an oil bidding war to end it. This is a big deal we're about to tell you. Berkshire Hathaway announced this morning a $10 billion preferred stock investment in Occidental Petroleum, which will help Occidental finance its very expensive takeover of Anadarko Petroleum. So here's the deal as it's structured. Berkshire will receive 100,000 shares with a value of $100,000 per share and will accrue dividends at, okay, are you sitting down? 8% annually. It's a nice percent there. While Buffett has a history, particularly during crises, of making these types of preferred stock investments, for example, during the financial crisis, he did so for Tiffany and Goldman Sachs and Harley-Davidson. Could this really be an indication of just how powerful Greg Abel, Berkshire Hathaway Energy Vice Chairman and Berkshire Hathaway Chairman of non-insurance business operations, really has become? Well, the rumored heir apparent has been at the helm of Berkshire Energy since 2008 and oversees companies like BHE Renewables, Home Services of America, Mid-American Energy, Northern Power Grid Holdings Company, BNSF Railroad, and Precision Cast Parts, among dozens of others. Now, even turning Mid-American Energy into one of the largest power suppliers in the country. So are Buffett and Abel total geniuses? Let's get to our floor show traders. John, when you look at the investment Berkshire's making, is this genius or overextending in a way, which is not something Buffett usually does?
Listen, we're talking about Warren Buffett here, so I can't say anything other than he is a genius. We've seen deals like this before in the past, and we're going to continue to see deals like this. They're structured in a way where he protects his shareholders. He comes in, he helps a particular company get a deal done and infuse capital in there, and on the back end, he protects himself. It's a win-win situation for everybody. If the deal falls apart, there are some clauses there that might protect him a little bit. I think that's the only risk that he has right there. And as you said in the lead-in, we've seen this before. We saw it in Tiffany's and Goldman Sachs during the financial crisis. He comes in, he finds the right opportunity, and people don't feel dirty in the deal. They feel like he's really helping them out and helping out the shareholders across the board to get these companies back to where they want to be, to finalize a deal that they want to secure. So I think in this scenario here, it's a win for everybody.
You know, Phil, I think John's right, and even Chevron investors are happy because Chevron was shoved out of the running here, and now what happens? That stock is moving higher. Give us a sense that we need to broaden this to the Venezuela situation when it comes to oil. We watched oil spike earlier on this real unrest that we began to see, and I don't know if we can take any pictures once again of Venezuela, but Phil, give us a sense of how important or not Venezuela really is in the world oil membership of OPEC.
It's still very important. It just isn't really important right now. And the main reason is because Nicolas Maduro ran the Venezuelan oil industry into the ground, right?
Yes.
You know, and in the past, if we had a big disruption in a major oil producer, we'd be worried about losing that oil. Well, guess what? We're going to lose that oil anyway. If Maduro stays in power, Venezuelan production is going to continue to fall. And so actually the market may take this as a positive at some point, or a bearish aspect if it looks like this uprising can get rid of Maduro. So this could be a key changing point for the market and actually be a bearish impact. The other question is, of course, if Maduro goes, Guaido gets in power, are they going to stay a member of OPEC? So a lot of questions if you think ahead.
Indeed, but energy is still very much the topic of the day, what with that and, of course, the Buffett situation regarding Occidental and Anadarko. Alan Nuckman, give us your sense of that deal and how it plays into the entire picture of what goes on in the energy world and how powerful a guy like Greg Abel now is.
Well, it's an amazing deal as far as the terms go. If you can get those terms, it's incredible. 8%. Return, and you've got preferred stock. You know, this company, Berkshire, had $112 billion in cash, so they're loaning some of that out, getting an amazing return. Even if you're not bullish on oil, you know, that's still a huge payoff considering what normal rates are in the market. So I still think there's a lot more upside here in the energy markets. Obviously, Mr. Buffett and his team knows a lot better than I. But looking at the overall markets with this big bounce back that we've seen, I think we want to keep an eye on the IWM, the Russell 2000. I think that index still has a lot more upside potential to catch up to what we've seen here and now, the tech sector and in the S&P.
All right, speaking of the S&P, just for a brief moment there, it turned positive. Any gain for the S&P and the NASDAQ, that's a record. Guys, great to see you. And I know all three of you are going to be riveted because later this week, we're heading to Omaha, Nebraska to spend the weekend with Warren at the Warren Buffett Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder meeting. On Friday, I will be joined by Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts, GAMCO chairman and longtime Berkshire investor and always outspoken Mario Gabelli. And this is important. Ron Peltier, he's the executive chairman of Home Services of America, now the largest real estate giant in the nation. Then Saturday, it's our annual sprint across the floor with the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett. We will do Facebook Live interviews with other Berkshire leaders and have live updates from the shareholder meeting. So keep an eye on that on Saturday, plus so much more. That's coming up all later this week on Countdown. We're coming right back. The Dow is up 21 points.